Regarding focus, I'm not going to tell you another way to be focused for hours, or implement a new productivity system, or build a second brain using some fancy application. Instead, I want to remind to myself with this video and to you that it's time to rethink what is important and declutter your brain. To remind to cut less important things and focus on what really matters. But you know, in today's world, it's actually much harder than you think. I know that my YouTube channel is mostly about software engineering, but what I'm going to talk next goes beyond this topic. But before, let me describe the problem that I face. I'm a curious person. I like to study, I like to learn new things, I like to explore the unknowns, I like to go deep into some topic until I really understand how it works. Probably this is why I ended up in the tech industry, because the number of opportunities to feed this curiosity is just insane. The industry changes very quickly and drastically, and it's always something new to learn. Even changing crafts within software development forces you to learn a lot of the new stuff. Therefore, same applies to other areas of my life. I want to watch all of the films, I want to watch all of the series, I want to read all of the books, I want to play all video games, I want to visit all of the places, and so on. Or for example, I can easily start to learn new skill like playing the guitar or something else. I don't believe that being a curious person is a bad thing, but it has its own downsides if you don't control it. One of the things is that I can have many things in progress at the same time. Like, for example, even read 2 or 3 books at the same time. For example, one could be work-related, one could be non-fiction, and another one, I don't know, personal improvement or something like this. And the same could happen in other streams of my interests. Plus, I usually want to go very deep into the topics, which makes the situation even worse. Having very basic knowledge level or the skill level of something, it's not something I'm comfortable with. Which creates a problem because I can easily be distracted diving into other things than focus on what matters right now and what matters long term. Instead of choosing few things to focus on, I could spread my attention and the time on multiple things. And I will have a progress with all of them. I could consider them as interesting and important for myself, but it's not the best approach. Recently, I started to cut things I have in progress. I limit my overall focus to very few items, for example, one book, one problem at a time, one series, one personal project, and so on. Until I finish an item in a stream, I cannot go next. Ideally, number of the streams should be limited as well, but I believe it's the next step for me. Unfortunately, sometimes it's not possible, especially with the problems. They arise much faster than I can handle some of them. But even 70% of success here is much better than no success at all. A bird in a stand worth 2 in a bush. If you're still watching this, I want this video to be a trigger for you. I want you to reevaluate all of the things that you pay attention to, like day to day, and start limiting things you work on at the same time. My situation became much worse in the past 2 years. There are way too many things I need to pay attention to and focus at the same time. But I mean, the interesting part is I didn't consider that even having multiple ways to relax could drain my brain power. And at some point I understood that it's too much and I have to do something about this. I decided to use the to-do list, but in a very limited way. Instead of going with something complex that current to-do list can provide, I have just 3 sections with current focus, monitoring, and a backlog. Current focus, well, things that I should pay attention to right now. Backlog contains all other things in the order I should take care of them after I finish something from the current focus. And the monitoring contains items that I need to check periodically, but usually they do not require any actions from my side. If you want, you can use Notepad and a pen to do the same, or you can use sticky notes and move them between the columns, or you can go with the digital to-do list like I just described. So if you're struggling with the ability to focus on something or achieving something, maybe it's not a problem in ADHD or not having a perfect productivity system. Maybe you just overloaded with opportunities and interests, because that is the case for myself. Yes, picking the right priorities is hard, and this is how, for example, I ended up with too many things all at once. It's not only about the curiosity, but it also inability to select what matters right now and what matters long term. While I have too many interests, I still have to limit myself to handle the amount I actually capable right now. Sometimes this number could be bigger, sometimes it could be smaller, but it should be the number I'm capable to handle right now. It doesn't mean that it has to be one item at all, but it shouldn't be 100. But here's the thing, once I put a limit on the number of the things and the streams I should take care of at the same time, I started to make more progress using less time. Yes, some things are not progressing at all, they just waiting for their turn. But this is the devil I have to fight in my head, because I want many things to progress at the same time as fast as I can. But if I change this approach and focus on the specific things at the same time, in the long run they all will be done. Because instead of working on 10 different things, I can focus on one thing, then on the second one, and then the third. And if you take a look, I don't know, in a period of half of the year, all of this is going to be done. Or I will have to sacrifice with something because it's just impossible to do everything. Use this video to reevaluate things you should focus on and be strict with stuff you spend your time on. There is only one thing that you will never get back, and that's your time. Because our time is precious and limited, and we need to carefully think how we're spending it. So, good luck and pick up the right things to do. Thank you for watching, and I see you in the next video. Bye bye.